Hello there, this is RomWills coming back at you with yet another video. Many men lose women because of their personality. Now, there's not enough talk about it. I've talked about it, but not enough, because in these spaces, people talk about all the bait to get the women over. Talking about the looks, and of course I talk about body game and style. And some guys will talk about money and status. All that is bait. And some guys will get the women, but then because they have jacked up personalities or boring personalities, or they really not clicking with the women, they lose the women. Yeah, you could probably go on a date with her. You could probably get a lot of attention, a lot of phone numbers. But then remember, with women, it's all about their emotional connection. Yes, they looking at you. Yes, they checking you out for whatever reason. And yes, you can probably get the women's attention, but then you have to hold the attention. It's like a man and a woman like each other, how they look and they fine, and she's wet and he's hard, but then they go on that date and they just don't click. Women are called it instant dryness. Most men will still try to get with her anyway, but an experienced man would be like, oh no, not this one, she a little crazy. Indeed, some men that might have happened to. But many men, they lose the woman. They lose the woman because they'll have the outer stuff, but they'll lose it on their personality. And that's even if they even get that far. Because you have a lot of men who will have a jacked up personality and they even get that far. A woman to see that right away, because it'll reflect in how the man is talking to them when they first meet, or how he's walking, how he's looking at them, his body language and everything. And this is very important. This is very important to take into consideration. Because one of the problems I've always had is too much focus on the bait. You want to have some focus, but some guys think that's it. Like some guys think, well, if the guy looks good, he'll get the women. Yeah, he'll get them initially. He really would. If a man looks good, yes, he will get them initially. But then there's a lot of guys who say they are handsome, say they've been told they're handsome, and they still having problems. It's the personality. See, yes, you want to connect with a woman's, both her eyes, you need to look good to her, and her for JJ. And then if you're talking money and status, that's more her brain, but you still got to connect with her heart. And that's within the personality. That's within the clique. Indeed, when you see a couple sometimes together and they don't look like they should be together, sometimes, now just sometimes, it could be some other things, but sometimes it's really because they just clicked. In fact, that was very important. I remember I did a radio show in DC way back in the day. And we had one guy on there. He wasn't a writer. He was just somebody who had called into the show a lot. And I never forget what he said. He said it's all about that instant click. He was an old school player. It's about that click. But that click isn't because the both of them like how each other look. You can like how somebody look, but you don't click with them. It's that personality. A lot of guys got to work on their personality. If they have any negative traits, if they talking negative, they have a negative mindset, they need to work on it, because that's the thing. Because when you're going on a date with a woman, that's what she's looking for. Yeah, you look good to her. You might be tall to her and all of those things. But then when you actually go on a date, like on the show I say is the gift that keeps on giving, the balloon pop show. They've had people who've come back on the show, even after they had a connection. They said, well, we just didn't click. That's a personality. And sometimes it's not even that you have a bad personality. It's sometimes you just don't click. You and the woman just don't click. And a lot of guys got to think about that. That's very important. Now, yeah, if you just want a one night stand or something like that, hey, you just need to look good. But let's be real. Let's be real out here. Men are talking about getting with a woman long term, about pair bonding. Otherwise, men wouldn't even care about a woman's body count if they just wanted her real quick. Shit, they want her quicker. They want her to have a high body count because then they can leave quicker. Indeed, some men will say they paying, if they paying for a woman, they ain't paying to have sex, they paying for her to leave. Okay, that's one thing. But you get a lot of guys out here, they want that relationship. They want to be with that woman long term. Okay, fine. She like how you look, but you still got to be able to talk with her. Y'all still have to be on the same page, personality-wise. This is very important. And indeed, that's what happens with a lot of men. They haven't developed their personality. They haven't developed their conversation skills. They have a negative mindset. I've known some dudes who seemingly had a lot going on, but they had a negative mindset and would always wonder why they were having trouble with the woman. It was really because of their personality. I mean, shoot, even just talking with them, you could see it. That's something another man could see. It was like, hold up, man, why are you talking all negative? What do you think that woman's going to feel? Why should she want to be with you? Because you look good? No, women don't stay with, look, let me be clear. A woman does not stay with a man because he looks good. He can look like a model. In fact, if he's looking like a model, she's holding him to a higher standard. Think about that. Think about that. And he could have $1 million. And unless they're an acculturated prostitute, or as the honorable Pimp God will call them, acceptable hoes, they ain't going to hang out with them. It's the personality that keeps two people together. It's the personality. It's the heart. You have to connect with her heart. But if you have a jacked up personality, if you just have a negative mindset, that's going to lose a woman right there. That's regardless of whatever physical bait you have. You might have a great bait. But like I said, there's plenty of women, what do you always say a woman will say? He was alright till he opened his mouth. And a lot of guys got to think about that. What is their personality like? Is it something that a woman wants to deal with over the long term? Like I said, if it's a short-term thing, oh yeah, that's different. But let's just be real. Many guys out here wouldn't care about a woman's body count if they weren't looking long-term. Everybody out here is not trying to be player. But you have a lot of guys, they just have a negative mindset. A woman just doesn't want to deal with them. And that's all it is. No matter how good he looks, no matter how much money he has, shoot, they have to connect with a man emotionally. All right? So I want you to think about that. Really think about that. Yeah, you still want to work out. You still want to let the barber bless you. You still want to have a good style. And, well, you still want to make money for yourself anyway. I will always emphasize that. But you could have all of that and still have trouble with a woman. Because, yeah, you look good, she'll stop and talk to you for another 40 seconds. But then after that, if you ain't saying anything or you talking some jacked up mess, she don't want to deal with you. Think about that. Indeed, that's why I always say, start off by saying hi to 3 women a day. That's building up your muscle. That's why I'm giving that free game. You gotta be able to talk with them, because at some point you gotta be able to connect with a woman. All right. So I want you to think about that. So that's all I have for right now, and I will get back with you. Peace and blessings.